With the Tesla, as you may or may not already know, you're going to be saving a bunch of money when it comes to not having to pay for gas and not spending as much on maintenance. But there are a couple of hidden costs that I wish I knew when I first got my Model 3 2 years ago. So today I'm going to go over 5 hidden costs of owning a Tesla, and at the end I'll share one cost that is a little bit misleading when it comes to Tesla ownership. So let's go ahead and get into it with the first of those hidden costs being maintenance. And yes, I know I just said you would save a bunch of money on maintenance with Teslas, but there are a few things that you do need to take care of. I'll tell you first how much I've spent on my Model 3 so far. It's a little over 2 years old, driven a little bit over 54,000 miles, and so far I've rotated my tires 3 times and I've balanced them 3 times as well. I've had to buy a gallon of windshield washer fluid, and within the last year I've actually changed my cabin air filters. Now all of that for a total has cost me $158, which again is nothing when it comes to maintenance over 2 years of owning a car. Some other maintenance Tesla recommends straight from the Tesla website are some of these things here. It says tire rotations every 6,250 miles, which is very specific. Like I said, I rotated mine 3 times over the 54,000 miles I've driven, so I probably should have done a little bit more, but I'm still on original tires, so they're doing pretty good so far. And Tesla also recommends cabin air filters every 2 years. I will say, if you live in a hot climate, like here in Vegas, where you use the AC a lot, almost all year round, these tend to wear out a little more quickly than every 2 years. I've done mine once so far, and it's about that time where I almost gotta do them again. And you'll know when it's time. When you put the AC on, it starts smelling like a vinegar, some people say like a wet sock smell, which sounds disgusting, but it's not that bad. It's subtle, but when you turn it on and you smell that little bit of something like that, it's about time to put some new air filters in. And as far as that maintenance goes, the air filters are very easy to put in. If I can do it, you definitely can do it. So here's that list of Tesla maintenance. Again, something to be aware of every couple of years. And some people also say that tires tend to wear out more quickly. I will say, like I've already said, I've had 54,000 miles on this car and I'm on original tires still. It's almost that time where I got to replace them, but not quite just yet. I think it varies a lot. I've heard stories of people who drive Model 3s and Model Ys and have had to get new tires at like 20 or 30,000 miles. And then I've heard people who are like me who've been able to get like 50, 60,000 miles out of these tires. So I guess it just depends how you drive maybe. I have the acceleration boost. I don't use it too much. I enjoy it from time to time, but I don't drive like a maniac, and my tires have lasted me 54,000 miles so far. For the second hidden cost, I want to talk about accessories. Now, in my opinion, accessories are something you should buy to make your car look better, make it more fun, make things more useful or convenient. But however, with Tesla, there are a few things that are classified as accessories that the car actually needs. So there are some true must-have accessories. And the first of those is floor mats. Now, some of the older models, like my Model 3 here, it came with carpet floor mats that are very thin and very cheap. But the new Model 3, I know for sure nowadays, comes with nothing. There aren't even carpet floor mats in there. So that's something that you'll have to buy when you buy a brand new Tesla. I recommend all-weather floor mats, but you'll need at least some sort of floor mat to put in your car. And we know Teslas come with a lot of space, especially on the interior, the frunk, the sub-trunk, but also in the center console and the armrest. When you open it up, there's this big gap of nothingness. These organizers don't come with the car, and I would say they're a must-have to actually make these areas useful. Teslas also don't come with a spare tire, and while a spare tire might not be necessary, what I would say is for sure necessary is at least a portable tire inflator kit. Tesla sells their own. You can get these from Amazon for a lot cheaper, I'd imagine, but something like this is absolute necessary to keep in your car in case of emergency. And then the screen. A lot of us have these smartphones nowadays, a lot of iPhones. We all have screen protectors. Just like an iPhone, the Tesla screen does not come with a screen protector. But I would just say spend 20, 25 bucks on a screen protector. Make sure you protect the most important part of your car. There are a handful of other accessories that I wouldn't say are must-haves, but are very nice to have. Like mud flaps would be nice to protect the paint if any rock chips kicking up. But the stuff I mentioned before, like the floor mats, are stuff that you probably do need if you're going to buy a new Tesla. Now the third hidden expense. So Teslas come with a lot of cool features. You may know about the Theater app where you can watch YouTube, Netflix, stream other things like that. Also Spotify, Apple Music, all those music streaming services. But to actually use those from anywhere and to not rely on Wi-Fi, you need premium connectivity. And this premium connectivity is a paid upgrade. Now, luckily, it's only $100 a year, or you can pay $10 a month, so it's not too bad. But to be able to watch YouTube or Netflix from anywhere, to be able to stream music while you're driving from the apps in the car, and to be able to see like the live traffic from the menu as well, which is very cool, you need to pay for premium connectivity. And then, of course, there's full self-driving. So you may have heard that Teslas can fully drive themselves. And while that's kind of true, kind of not true, autopilot comes standard for free on every Tesla you buy. So it'll keep you in your lane, keep you a safe distance from the car ahead of you, and steer for you on the highways. It will not change lanes. It will not stop at stop signs or stoplights. It won't get off and on the interstate. All of that extra stuff is full self-driving, which is a paid upgrade for Tesla. Right now, it's $8,000 to have it for forever. You can pay $100 a month. That is a paid upgrade. But for most people, autopilot is just fine. If you're going to take this car on a road trip and you want to just kind of cruise along the highway, autopilot will do 95+% of your driving for you. Now for the fourth hidden expense, let's talk about insurance. And there's a caveat here, because I will say, generally, for most people, Teslas will be more expensive to insure than other similar gas cars. But in my experience, in my Model 3 here, I pay less than $100 a month for my insurance, and I have pretty good insurance benefits, pretty good coverage, but my premium is cheaper on my Model 3 than it is for most other cars. Now, it's hard to compare exact quotes and exact data because age, location, driving history, a bunch of other things go into how much you pay for insurance, and I understand that, but I will tell you from my experience, I have Tesla insurance here in Nevada, and it's only available in a certain amount of states, and they're not growing lately. They don't seem to be expanding. So if you're in a state with Tesla insurance, I will say, if you insure your Tesla through Tesla insurance, you generally pay a lot less than other insurance companies. But again, those options are limited depending on if it's available in your state. But also the caveat there is that Tesla insurance kind of sucks. Like they're just bad. I got into an accident in February, or I should say someone hit me in February. It is November 20th today, and we are still waiting for our deductible back that we promised we would get at some point. I know it takes a long time, but I haven't heard an update since March. I've texted, called, left voicemails, reached out. They don't get back to you. And with Tesla insurance, the cool thing is that it's very automated. So you can do everything from your app. You can update, change your policy, all from the app. Super simple, super intuitive, like you'd imagine Tesla is. But that's all great until you need to get a hold of somebody and talk to a real person or have a question you need an answer from. And when it comes to that, there's just nobody working for Tesla insurance, it seems like. And now from speaking to other people who live in a state where they don't have Tesla insurance, or they insure their Tesla through different companies, I have heard that Teslas are more expensive to insure. And I'm not saying they're lying. That probably is true, but it's not my experience. So I would say if you want a quality insurance company with pretty good coverage and you don't want to go with Tesla insurance, then expect to pay a little bit more for your insurance premium as compared to a Tesla via Tesla insurance. Now, the fifth hidden expense for your Tesla, let's talk about it. One that surprised me the most, honestly, being here in Nevada, is the car registration and renewals. So every year you got to pay your car registration, and here in Nevada, registrations for cars are typically just through the roof, and that's for all cars across the board, but Teslas tend to be a little more expensive. Now, when I got my Model 3 back in 2022, it was almost $1,000 to register this car, which is crazy. And keep in mind, Nevada's just high across the board in general, like I said. But every year to renew, it gets a little cheaper, but it's still almost $1,000. And we got a Model Y last year at this time. We just got an email to register it again for this year. And here's how much it cost for a Model Y that we got back last year in December 2023. Now, to be fair, we both have custom plates on our Model 3 and our Model Y, but that's just a small additional fee to what is just a very expensive car registration here in Nevada. Teslas tend to be a little more expensive, though, in any other state compared to gas cars. And there are some states recently, and this is a trend that I would expect to continue, unfortunately, that some states are adding a EV fee. So whether you have a Tesla or any other electric vehicle, it will cost a little bit more, probably to make up for not paying gas to register your car in that state. So those are 5 hidden expenses of owning a Tesla that I wish I knew about when I first got my Model 3. But I did say I had one sort of misleading cost, and that I want to talk about charging. So we know charging is cheaper than gas, sure, but superchargers have been getting pretty pricey lately. If you take a road trip across the country, have to stop at superchargers, you will pay about 2/3 of the price that you would in gas. And again, it's still cheaper than gas, but that is still a cost that you're not saving as much as you'd probably think. But that's just supercharging. Let's talk about at-home charging for a second, because if you get a Tesla, you have to upgrade your outlet and get an at-home charging station and upgrade your panel and do all that stuff, right? Well, probably not, at least for most people, so hear me out. As long as you have access to a regular 12-volt outlet somewhere in your garage or in your apartment complex, the same outlet you use to charge your phone on, you can get 4 to 5 miles of range per hour of charge. Again, which is not a lot, I understand that. But if you're plugging in overnight, let's say for 12 hours, that's about 60 miles of range of overnight charging. And most people in a day don't drive more than 60 miles. And I can tell you personally, with my job, I am a home health physical therapist. I use this car you see right here to drive around Las Vegas to my patients' houses, a couple of them, multiple every day. So I drive a lot more than the average person. I use a regular 12-volt outlet and I can get away with it. So my advice, if you're a new Tesla owner and are worried about at-home charging or worried about if that regular outlet would be enough for you, my advice would be to get that mobile connector and at least try it out. You can always upgrade your charging unit if you need to at any point in the future. It's not like there's a long list of people where you're backed up, have to wait months to do it. You can do it at any point, at any time. But I will say for most people, a regular 12-volt outlet will be plenty. So there you have it, 5 hidden costs and one sort of misleading cost when it comes to charging about your Tesla. As it gets dark here at 4:30 here in Vegas, it's that time of year. But thank you all for watching. I hope you learned something in this video. If I missed something, please leave a comment down below. And if you're gonna get a brand new Tesla, if you're in the market for one, please consider using our referral code. I'll leave it down below for you guys. Click on that, save $500 off your purchase of a Model 3 or a Model Y. And as always, catch you in the next one.